Hey everyone, thank you for joining me. I'm a guy called Joe. This is Bootstrapping Tools, where we help everyday folks leverage third-party tools and applications to supercharge their workflows. Now, in today's video, we're going to be talking about some data analysis methods that you can use in SQL so that you can get more insights out of all your queries. But there's a bunch to go over, so let's go ahead and just dive right into it. This tip has to do with joining tables together. One of the things is instead of having to write out the table name every single time that you want to specify a particular field, what you can do is you can give it a reference name. So for this instance, we're going to join products with the variance table. And then so we're going to use P for products. And then within their join statement, we're going to say public.variance v on p.id equals v.product.id. That way you don't have to spell out the entire table name every single time. It's just going to be able to provide that to you. Now, this next tip has to do with aggregating data together. As we can see on the table, we have a bunch of rows for the same exact product ID. These might be different variants, but perhaps we wanted to actually sum up all the inventory amounts that are available underneath this product, regardless of the variant ID. So what we would do is we would take the inventory quantity over here, whatever column that you want to sum up, and just wrap that in a sum statement with open and close parentheses. Because we are summing this up or grouping it by the product ID, we don't need the variant ID anymore. And before we run this, let's go ahead and just group by the product ID, which we can use the one as a representation of the first column in our select statement. Once we run this, we'll find the sum of all the inventory that is available for that product without having to get multiple rows for that. This is a great way to combine data. Let's say if you have orders data and you want to get the total sales amount for that, you can use the same exact method for getting that aggregation to work. Now, this tip is going to be about filtering your data by only the things that you care about. You can see on the screen here, for all the different products that we have the total amount of inventory available for that product. We have a lot of values here, but perhaps we only care about the ones that are above 100. So what you can do here is we take the sum of the variant inventory quantity, and at the end of this, we add a having statement. We're going to be able to say sum of inventory is greater than 100. What this is going to do is it's going to help us filter down our results by only the amounts that fit the having statement down here, which is above 100. And so we only get 6 values back as opposed to the amount that we had before, which was closer to about 30. Another thing that's really helpful when it comes to using SQL to run data analysis is you can actually create your own learnings or custom entries depending on the data that you're finding. So what we're going to do is we're going to use something called the case statement. So we're going to do case when, and then we'll take the sum inventory quantity amount, and then we're going to create statuses out of it. So case when sum inventory is less than 50, then we're going to say replenish. And you can actually add multiple ones of these if you want it. So we can say when sum is greater than 50 and it is less than 100, then healthy, else we're going to say overstocked. So what this is going to do is this is going to say check the inventory quantity for the product. If it's less than 50, then it's something we need to replenish. If it's between 50 and 100, then it's healthy. And then if it's above that, or else statement over here is going to be overstocked. Before we close this out, we have to say end, and we also need to say as status, just so that we can actually give the column a name better than just a case statement. So once we run this, you're going to see in our results over here that for a couple of these products, they're going to be healthy. A couple of them, if they're lower than 50, it needs to replenish. Between 50 and 100 is fine. If it's over 100, then it's overstocked. And this is just a great way to use a SQL statement or to create reports that you can export out into into Excel or Google Sheets or something like that, or just give it over to somebody else and give an indication of what you actually need to do across the board. So those are some great tips to help you gain more insights out of your SQL queries. If you're looking to upgrade your data analysis, check out this video where we go over how to create a Google Data Studio dashboard, which is a business intelligence tool to help you create beautiful reports to visualize your data sets. But I'm a guy called Joe. This is Bootstrapping Tools. It's been a pleasure, and we're out.